we are going to be covering Facebook ads today, specifically on how to generate leads from local companies. So this is a topic actually that has been requested for a little bit. It kind of got pushed off. We actually did a mastermind, a paid mastermind, where I actually had someone come in and they shared all their awesome secrets and put on a really good show, and folks could pay to attend that. What I've decided to do is I'm going to give a condensed version, taking what I've learned, showing you a real world application of what I've done with the knowledge, and it's free. So how about that? So we'll be doing that, and it actually piggybacks well off of last week's topic. I think it was last week's topic. Was it 2 weeks ago? We had covered D7 Lead Finder as a platform to generate leads. If you weren't here for that topic, which I know some of you weren't, you can go to our YouTube channel. We posted it up, so you don't have to miss any of that awesome information. I'll recover it just briefly here.
I forgot to put it in my email, Mike. I'm sorry.
Oh, you didn't send out the links?
No, I did not.
You're gonna have to pull a Donald Trump on you.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
What does that mean, actually?
He still has a job. He still has a job. I didn't do that. You're fired.
Oh, no, you wouldn't have. You'd have to tweet it, not.
Oh yeah, I could tweet it at him. So if you weren't here for that training, it is on our YouTube channel. I'll just share my screen real quick. It is this guy right here, how to build targeted lead lists of local companies for cheap. So build lead lists, so you'll have that image, 35 leads a day for $29.99. Pretty inexpensive tool, very cool tool, big fan. Like I said, I'll recap it just very, very briefly here today, so you guys know a little bit about it. But I actually used that tool to help fuel our Facebook advertising campaigns for specifically B2B Facebook advertising campaigns that are trying to reach local companies. So that tool is really good at generating local leads. So like when I say a local company, anybody that services their local area, not like a net, they're not trying to service a national audience or a global audience. They're trying to serve a very local area. So like, your mechanic shops, your hairstylists, your CPAs, any of those guys. Marketing companies also can target their local area. So anybody that would pretty much show up on Google Business Profile and target their local area, that tool does that. So, and I'll tell you the use case that I'm going to share with you today. So I actually got a ad account. It's live. You can see some of this data. This is one of our clients, and I've worked with him. We kind of created a partnership together where this promotes. He pays for the ad spend. I help run the campaign, and he has a website called AdvisorRanks. AdvisorRanks is a website that has financial advisors listed on the site, and he ultimately wanted to drive more traffic to the site, get more financial advisors to claim their profile. It's a directory, and we've been doing Google Ads for him for about 3 years or so, and had the idea of, hey, our software tool, Valued Input, would be a good partnership. It helps generate reviews, which is directory site. They're able to leave reviews there. So we put a little partnership together. So the kind of campaign I set up for him is he has 2 sites. He has advisorranks.com and he has advisorranks.ca, which just show you the site real quick. It's this, which this is the .ca, which is pretty similar. 120,000 financial professionals in Canada. You can find them, you can review them, all that good stuff, and you can claim your your profile if you're a financial advisor. So he wanted to get more people to come in and claim their profile. I wanted to suggest to those folks, hey, I can help you drive more reviews to that website and or anywhere else that you want to collect reviews. What we decided to do is, first, you got to build your audience. How are you going to reach financial advisors on Facebook and Instagram, right? And so we took a variety of approaches. I'll tell you exactly what we did. So to start off, a brand new account as a brand new account, we could not upload a custom audience. So I started with interest audience. And I don't think that exists anymore, but I'll tell you what it was. We go into the ad sets here. Edit. All right. So you got your campaign level, you got your ad set, and you got your ads. So, and you can filter our way down. So as we go into business.facebook.com, ads manager /ads manager, this is where you set up all your ads. We set up our campaign, we give it a budget, campaign bid strategy, we select highest volume, we're letting it run ads at all times. And we go into our ad set. One of the key things that I think works really, really well as an objective are Facebook's instant forms. And maybe you guys have seen this, maybe you haven't. Have you ever clicked on a form on Facebook and it didn't take you to a website, but it suggested you fill out a form right there on Facebook? Has anybody seen those before? You have? Okay, or Instagram, by the way, it does both. So I'm a big fan of that campaign objective in particular versus sending to a website. I've done both. In fact, you know, when I did some testing for that company ourselves, we had a much better cost per acquisition for lead forms than we did sending them to a website and to a landing page. And one of the main reasons I really like instant forms as the objective for them to fill it out right there is it makes sure that Facebook knows you got a conversion. They're not going to miss it. It happened on Facebook. They know you got a conversion. They collected the lead information. They know who that person is. Whereas when you send them off to a landing page, they miss out on some of that information due to Apple's iOS update. If you guys are familiar, Apple significantly harmed Facebook in particular, but other digital marketing efforts, because they don't share all the information that they used to. They opted in, practically everybody, I think it was iOS 14.5, opted everybody into, you know, this privacy update of, hey, don't share my website visiting information with certain cookies. And so Facebook lost a lot of this data. That was one of the very, very powerful things about Facebook, was their pixel could basically know anywhere you went online. If you visited a website that had the Facebook pixel, they knew you were there. And now that market share has shrunk down to, okay, not Apple devices, or a very small percentage of Apple devices that allow it, if they've gone 14.5 or higher. So we want Facebook to have this information, and we want Facebook to know that we got a good conversion. So instant form definitely ensures that occurs, because the conversion happens on Facebook. Let's come down here. And then the way we created our audience, at first, we could not upload a customer list. We could not say, hey, you know, here's a custom audience, advertise to this custom audience, or make a lookalike off of this custom audience. We had to use their interests. And so we came down here into detailed targeting. So if you guys have never seen any of this stuff before, so our campaign, by the way, is running in Canada. And if you're interested, if you guys service anywhere in the world, I'll tell you that Canada, you can get cheaper leads. There's less advertisers in Canada. The cost per click is often a bit cheaper. On the other hand, when you take them into the sales process, you face a conversion rate issue of Canadian to US. So pros and cons to that approach, but nevertheless, you can get cheaper leads in Canada. So we went down here to say that again, Marty?
Unless you are Canadian.
Yeah, right, exactly. If you work in Canada and collect, Canadian money, then that can work just fine. So we went to detailed targeting, and we can target things like, and if you haven't seen some of these, I recommend just coming in and becoming familiar. This is only going to help you. This is, whether you use it for a lead gen for yourself or whether you're talking to a customer, knowing the targeting options is just going to help you think of cool ideas that they've never thought of trying before, and how to promote themselves. So let's just kind of look at some of those real quick. So we got demographics, we got education information, like their level, their fields of study, schools, we got financial information, income, household income, top 10% zip codes, 10 to 25% zip codes, etc. They had a life event. Are they away from family? Are they away from hometown? A lot of our options disappeared, by the way. We used to have birthday. Do they have an upcoming birthday? You want to do a birthday special? That can be kind of cool. Target your local area with a birthday special. Friends, got a new job, they're newly engaged. This is pretty cool. They got engaged a year ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago. That could be a pretty interesting targeting option. I mean, if you're a DJ, right? Or if you're a florist, or you got, wedding dresses, or whatever the case might be, you in the wedding industry, it's a pretty good targeting option. Newlywed, recently moved. So anyways, you can kind of dive into all this. Parents, what kind of parents, how old their kids are. It's kind of crazy that they can know some of this information. I don't know about you, but I didn't really tell them that I've got a 1-year-old, except I've uploaded pictures. That's the only way they would know. So Facebook's a little scary, but it works for us marketers to go to market to these types of things. Relationship status. Let's see. Separated. Can you imagine if we worked for a diverse attorney, whether separated makes sense to target? Maybe. Work, you can target certain industries, certain job titles. So we went into job titles. And by the way, you can just kind of start typing. You don't have to go into all those little options, but, financial. So we clicked on like personal financial advisor, and I think that was one of the big ones. Oh, and then I think we did wealth management. So we started off with this because, wealth management as some of our interest targeting. I'm not a big fan of interest targeting at this level. I much prefer a custom audience, giving Facebook the information. I find it works better. But if it's a brand new account and you don't have the ability to upload a custom audience, that's where you start. But we've uploaded a custom audience. He gave me a list. It didn't work out too well. I pulled my own list from D7 Lead Finder, which I showed you guys a couple weeks ago. I'll just pull it back up so you can see it real quick. D7 Lead Finder, $29.99, cheapest plan, have access to it. And just log into my account real quick. Okay. So if I were to do a quick search, do a bulk search for financial advisors, and then I could pick top 400 cities in the United States if that's what I wanted to do, right? Or top 100 cities, or where the case might be. I think I can type in Canada, top 100 cities, towns, financial advisors, find them all, make a list. And then what you need to do with this list when you get it. So let's say you use this particular tool to build a list of financial advisors to tell Facebook, hey, this is who I'm trying to reach. And you can do this for all sorts of companies. I'm not suggesting financial advisors in particular. You can do this for plumbers. You can do this, for probably roofing, whatever. You just said medical spa, right? Medical spas, right? If you wanted to go get a bunch of more, let's say you made a really nice case study out of this client. You got a nice little testimonial video, and you're like, hey, cool, let's do a marketing campaign. Go get a bunch of medical spas. You could pull back medical spas. And so we build out this list, And let me go ahead and view previous list here. Let's say we did a Jewelers campaign, Jewelers 100. We download all these guys. Let me tell you, they give you the ability to download a Facebook audience. Don't do that. I know it's an option. I don't recommend it. Here's why. The junk in, junk out. Unfortunately, when I get this list, it's not as clean as I want it to be. So I go into these lists and I actually clean them up just a touch, and it's not too hard to do. It's super easy to actually clean up this list, and I'll show you why it needs cleaning. So they'll tell you like this. I said, hey, Jewelers, top 100 cities in the United States, pull back everything. And so look at this. Like I got this huge list of every jeweler in the top 100 cities of the United States. Dude, we got like 20,000 people on this list. More, kind of keeps going here. There you go. Stops here. 20,238. But this list is actually a little dirty. There's a lot of jewelers here. Like it's pretty good, but it's got some stuff that it shouldn't have. Let me just show you that. So this category is important. Let's see if I can find any that are going to stand out. We got boutique. We got art gallery. We got, and they just kind of pop up here and there. We got just this huge retail section. I prefer to make sure it's spot on because this is just to get Facebook going in the right direction. That's all. That's all we're trying to do is make sure that we're telling Facebook and we're sending them off in the right direction and having as clean as possible is good. So what you would do with this kind of a list, very simply, filter it. See all these different options here, 3D printing, accessories, accountant. We have a bunch of things that don't make sense that are in this list. And they're just scattered through, there's a lot of things. So maybe we don't want costume jewelry. Get rid of those, right? We got jeweler, you know, so let's just say we were happy with all these. We filtered it down. Okay. Copy, paste that into its own list, save that, upload it as a custom audience, which is pretty easy to do. Let me go back. So we go up here to create new audience, custom audiences, create new, custom audience. You click customer list as your source. Next. And it tells you how to prepare your list, which is pretty much prepared. You just map it out, you upload it, you're done. Okay. Now, let me share a couple of things with you. You've uploaded your list. You got two options. You can market to that list, or you can make a lookalike audience of that list. So if you market to the list, which I did both, I tested it. So we did list targeting here. We got 22 leads out of that list, and we financial advisors, as they should be. We reached them. We got a lot of impressions. Spent $122 per lead. I'm not happy with that. That's too expensive for my taste of what we were trying to accomplish for this campaign. Okay. And however, it was very helpful and important. And by the way, this is kind of integrated with some of the interest targeting too. But it was good learning lessons. I then made a lookalike audience. I shouldn't say then. I made list targeting and a lookalike audience at the same time, and I let them both run. And I let it see which one did better. So the lookalike audience severely outperformed it. It hadn't hit this, but it was achieving roughly $20 cost per lead. Okay, I can do that all day long. Let's go. $20 leads. So I killed this campaign, turned it off, and I gave this all the budget. And now it's way outperformed in terms of how much I've had to spend, $577 for 28 leads versus $2,600 for 22 leads.
That's nice.
Yeah. But this is the other thing about any campaign, you set expectations for yourself, you set expectations for a client. It's all about testing and iterations. We're not going to just knock it out first go. It's about taking that iteration, you know, that very first week, that second week of data, going, all right, what do we want to turn off? What do we want to turn on? Oh, our ads aren't working. Well, we got to try different ad types. So anyway, targeting starts the process. Creative is going to determine whether it is actually successful and works long-term or not. Okay. Now, if you target an audience that there's not many of those types of businesses, like you go really, really niche, you're trying to hope to get lucky. You're going to end up still reaching a whole bunch of people that aren't that. Okay. Because you do a 1% lookalike. So let me tell you how to do a lookalike real quick. Let's go in here, edit. So when you create an audience, let's say a lookalike audience. So we already uploaded that audience prior, right? So we create a lookalike audience, search for an existing audience. Here, this. So we already have a custom audience. We select the custom audience. You know, we say where we're trying to target, which is Canada in this case. Number of lookalike audience, just 1%. You don't need it bigger. Don't make it any bigger. 1% is all you need. Okay. It's going to be the most similar people to that list you have uploaded. So the bigger the industry, the more likely you're actually hitting that target all the time. You know, if there's only 10,000 businesses that provide this type of service, you're going to hit them. You're going to hit up other people that are similar to them. You know, so I'm a big fan of industries like this, which just to show you, if you ever want to know how big is this industry, how many providers are in this industry, ibisworld.com. Just do a quick Google search for Ibis World and then type in whatever industry. It'll take you to a market research report. You don't have to buy the report. It'll tell you the size and it'll tell you roughly the number of businesses that are in that industry. So in this case, in the US, there's 148,000 financial advisors. Cool, nice big market. I like that. Plumbers, nice big market. Roofing, nice big market. You go after something else though, it can be results, obviously, always can vary. So I've showed you how do you get your list, how do you upload it, how do you make a lookalike off it. Lookalike is the most powerful thing out of this instead of targeting it. That gives Facebook the power to go get people that are not on that list. And what's really, really good is Facebook also knows of those people who out there is also converting. Not just do they match, but are they filling out forms? Are they interested in this type of topic at all? And it tries to show those folks our ads. But it all comes down to, and by the way, I do manual placements, you know, and you can determine, hey, Facebook, Instagram, you can kind of look at all these options. One of the things that if you got like a really tight budget and you don't want to do, like if you're not trying to do any kind of branding, I recommend getting rid of these, the Audience Network reward videos, the Audience Network native and banner and interstitial ads. These are on applications. So like on gaming ads, when you click like the little thing, get a reward or whatever, ads will pop up there. But if you're trying to get a brand exposure, brand hit, this can be fine. So let's look at the ads and I'll show you which ones work better in this case. So always A/B test, run 2 ads. Okay. So you have a chance at seeing, hey, what's working better. And then whichever one's not performing, turn it off, make a new ad to go up against it, which I had one that's not performing. I've turned it off. I have yet to create the new one to go against it yet. But I will. So that's my next step for them. Is I saw that it was over the weekend. I was like, man, this one ad is just killing it. I'm turning off the other one. It's going to stop taking budget away from that really performing ad. And, you know, this week I'll get to it. So we had 2 ads. This one was converting at $15 a lead. This one's $42 a lead. By the way, this is Canadian, so if you do the conversion on that, I think this is like $9 a lead. So let's look at the ad copy together real quick. And I'll share some best practices in terms of ad copy. So we did, this ad is our best performing one. Close more clients, look like audience. So we decided what we were going to do is when they fill out the form on Facebook, they're going to automatically get a video. They're gonna be able to click on you know, they fill it out. They're going to be able to click and go to a video. They're also automatically emailed a video teaching them on this topic. So I am a big fan of longer form ad copy. It gives them more context of what they're about to see, what's next, why they should even talk to you. You're giving them more information. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So got an image, how the top financial advisors close more clients. Probably can play with this image some more. I'm probably going to. That's probably my next step, actually, in terms of an A/B test. I really, you know, this one's working. Flap out an image. Test one variable at a time to know what's working, what's not working. You could do this at scale and let Facebook figure it out by giving them a bunch of images and giving them a bunch of headlines and let them just test it. My only thing that I personally don't like about that as a marketer is you don't know what won. I like knowing what won so I can make better decisions in the future as a marketer. So I do it more by hand and manual. So we got the image. So first off, I'm calling out my target audience, financial advisors. It's in the image. Let me refresh this so I can shrink it back down again, hopefully. And I think this is very, very important, calling out your target market in the image, in the copy. Here we go. So financial advisors called out in the image, financial advisors called out in the headline, financial advisor called out in the very first piece of the text. If it's not clear, if you're not a financial advisor, scroll on. I'm not targeting you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want you to fill out my form. I don't want you to mess up my data. But if you are a financial advisor, you're stopping, you're looking at it because you know it is for you. Okay. So that calling out your target audience is good. Let me come down here to the text. So this is actually one of my shorter long form ads. Marty knows I make very long form ads. I could show you that company one at some point. But if you're a financial advisor that is looking for ways to grow, then this free training video is for you. No fluff, all value. Learn what you need to do to start closing new clients like the top financial advisors in the industry. Hint, it's not about sales technique. It's all about building trust at scale, leading into reviews, leading into, you know, his platform, right? Leading into our software that helps generate reviews. Our training is short and to the point, but we'll give you the information you need to take your practice to the next level. Click and fill out the form to have the video emailed to you. See you on the other side. A couple other things. So one, I'm a fan of long form. You break it up into small little sentences like that, or bullet points. You don't put a big block of text. No one wants to read a block of text. Make it easy on the eyes. So that's a best practice. Another best practice is you'll see that every word is capitalized. And Marty and I actually just talked about this the other day. Yep. This is proven to actually improve click-through rates and consider to be more engaging. So capitalize every word. I'll even, you know, on certain things really want to emphasize capitalize the whole word. So anyways, it pulls them in. Headline, call out your target market, pretty straightforward. Call to action button, you can use whatever you want to use, just use the most appropriate one for whatever, you know, objective you're trying to achieve. So in this case, learn more. I find learn more is probably the least threatening, least committive button to throw out in front of them. Like, you know, sign up. Do I want to sign up? I feel like, you know, I'll learn more. I don't know if I want to sign up. So, and then you create your form here on Facebook. So it gives you opportunities just to create it. You can duplicate it, create new forms. This is an example of what the form looks like. So they click on the ad, this pops up. I set it so the image creative that we use in the ad will show up here. So it's like, oh yeah, I'm in the right place. This is what I was doing. You know, this is related to that ad I just saw. You know, and then you can change all this. How the top financial advisors close more clients. Form will send you a 12.5-minute free training video sharing how the top advisors are closing more clients. Cool. Next, fill in the information. You can ask whatever questions you want. I have this connect to Zapier. So you could throw it into your CRM automatically. You could throw it into, you know, an email, campaign, drip campaign automatically. If you're not familiar with Zapier, it's the best way to connect different tools together and share information. So it will take Facebook form leads and put them in anywhere else that you want. Okay, assuming that all the apps are connected, you know, Zapier capable. And then it gives, I check higher intent. So there's two options. Like there's this, hey, just go for the masses, you know, and there's higher intent. I always check higher intent. It's one extra step, has them review their information before they actually submit it. And I recommend that step because Facebook actually pre-fills these forms for users all the time. Pre-fills their email address, their phone number, all that stuff. Sometimes they might be given an email that is like old, like, oh yeah, that's my AOL email I signed up for Facebook for, and I don't care, you know, I'm never going to look at that email. So I have them look at it, they submit it, cool. And then you can determine wherever this button goes, wherever you want to take them. You want to take them to a landing page. You want to take them to a Calendly, you know, set a meeting with me page. You want to, wherever you want to take them next, you can make this link off to that and tell them exactly, you can change exactly this text. And in this case, watch the video now. Okay. So that is ultimately kind of how you set all this stuff up. See, is there anything else I want to make sure that I cover for you guys? I think that gives you a pretty good, this is my other ad. How to build trust at scale for financial advisors. Watch now. Didn't do nearly as well. I bet this image would do well if I just use the other language. So I might end up just doing that A/B test. I had the same kind of text here. So the idea was to test one variable, right? And the variable I tested was the image. That was that's the one variable. The image was different. And what it said on that image. And I kept the text the same. I kept the form the same. The whole experience the same. So, and if you want to make some of my favorite images to create for this stuff is, if you don't have Canva and you're not like, I'm not a graphic designer, guys. I suck at creating graphics. You see this down here? This is freaking Microsoft Paint. Okay, when I need to edit, don't judge me.
Me too.
Yeah, all right, man. I love it. But Canva, big fan. So if you go into here, YouTube thumbnail will get you into these images. They work for a reason. They're eye capturing on YouTube for a reason, and they can do the exact same thing for you on Facebook advertising. Okay. One other tip that I could give you though is steal one of the YouTube templates, but make it into a square image. The reason I'll tell you to make it into a square image is it actually gets more real estate on mobile. When you scroll past Facebook ads, pay attention, or Instagram ads, pay attention. You'll see the guys that are rectangle, much smaller ad. Ones that are square get a whole lot more real estate. You got to scroll a little bit more to get past it. So, it makes it easier to view and read and engage with. I think that is like the high level best practices that I could just give you in a short form. Let's open up to a Q&A.